Our American Public Transportation Association Rail Standard, third rail current collection equipment periodic inspection and maintenance. Introduction note, alternate practice, frequency requirements, specific tasks, materials, tools, safety, personnel, protective requirements, inspection, maintenance, correction, and deficiencies. Alright. Alright, your third rail current collection, equipment periodic inspection maintenance. Maintenance tasks for the third rail current collection equipment should be performed with a regular schedule and ensure the proper operation of equipment. The section standard list table 1 provided with a guide detailed procedure identifying maintenance task. The frequency of the task table of 1 should comply with the applicable federal, state, and local regulation. Further conduct with the rail transit system periodic inspection maintenance program. Frequency of the individual task may be established based on a number of additional factors, but not including original equipment manufacturer recommended intervals, industry experience, operating environmental conditions, historic data, performance requirements, failure analysis, railway transit system testing experience, reliability center maintenance programs. Alright, 2. Warning requirements specific to tasks. The following inspection maintenance procedure for the performed voltage-free area to disconnect from all surface supply where no third rail is present. Follow the proper lockout tagout procedure as required by the railway transit. Ensure the proper electrical discharge auxiliary propulsion capacitors. Follow the proper procedures required by the original equipment manufacturer and rail transit system. Warning: ensure the vehicle is properly secured against uncontrolled movement in accordance with the rail transit system rule of the commencing the inspection maintenance procedure. Warning: when disconnecting the components of the third rail current collection system, ensure that all the components are adequately supported to prevent uncontrolled movement. Warning: use the cleaning product with the lubricant provided safe authorized by you with the rail transit system control. So, original equipment manufacturer material safety data sheets reference suitability for each of the application to prevent personal injury damage to the equipment. 2.1 Materials. The following materials normally required to perform third rail collection, equipment inspection, maintenance. Approved non-conducting cleaning solvent. Approved lubricants required with the original equipment to manufacture. Other materials recommended by the original equipment manufacturer. Tools. The following tools are normally required to perform third current collection, equipment inspection, maintenance. Standard tools carried by the maintenance personnel. 500 to 100 volt, 500 to 1000 volt DC mega ammeter, commonly referred to as a mega multimeter force gauge, spring scale, and digital torque wrench, third rail shoes and height gauge, contact shoe pad, wear gauge if applicable, fulcrum gauge if applicable. No tools marked with the asterisk require periodic calibration specified by the rail transit system practices. 2.3 Safety personnel protective equipment. Appropriate personal protective equipment meeting the ANSI standards that are required with the rail transit system shall be worn at all times in performance of these inspection maintenance tasks. Rail training requirements. The rail transit system, the maintenance contractor should develop an execute training program that provide employee with the knowledge, skill, and necessary for successfully, effectively performing the tasks outlined within standards. 2.5 Vision inspection maintenance. Visual electrically frayed, burned, broken, cut, otherwise defective shunt straps, electrical cables shall be replaced. Make sure the cables and shunts are not chafing or rubbing. If required with the rail transit system manufacturer recommendation, use the collodial copper coated material between connections. Mechanical missing, damaged cotter pin, bolt, nuts, and lock washers support bracket. The electrical terminal should be replaced with inspect alignment with the torque strips with the associated hardware. If applicable, loose hardware should be torqued with original equipment manufacturer specifications. Reapply torque stripes if applicable. No elastic locks and chemical locking compounds are not to be used with securing current carrying components. Wear indicator. Current collector shoes shall be replaced with hardware limited to telltale holes exposed with the shoe that is worn during the hemming limit. Use show pads. Wear gauge. If the current collector shoes can wear deteriorated or accelerated rate during severe weather than third rail icing and curve. The other recommended with the inspect all vehicles immediately following such weather. Shoe contact. Inspect with the current collector shoe with the correct contact over the third rail, with except for the burning pad contact. Are generally indicated with the proper shoe height, with the misalignment, the proper spring tension. If required, adjusting components corresponding with the rail transit system procedure to repair all abnormal conditions. Current collector height. Inspect with the current collector shoe height over the top of the running of the rail transit system. Approve the height and gauge adjust to require full manufacturer recommendation for all the other required adjustments. If fuse condition, inspect all rivet and braid type of the fuse with the burnt and separated other damage. If the elements are required, inspect open element and indicator cartridge type fuses. If activated, replace fuse. No, the reason for the blow fuse should be found and corrected. Inspect insulating material with the burnt and broken condition. 2.5.2 Mechanical inspection. Inspect with the current collector shoe spring with the shoes back when it is assembled for damage. Broke with the spring with the broken support. All defective components should be replaced. Assembly function. Text the correct current collector shoe spring tension as required. R253 electrical perform installation testing either the Mega 500 1000 volt DC. Ensure the high switch for the main breaker with the open position. Connect with the negative Mega negative lead with the carbide ground. Positively line side with the knife main knife switch for the circuit breaker installation left sufficient to ensure the freedom of the tracking, arcing, fire, other electrical hazard shall be achieved and maintained. Equipment associated not need believe the minimum level of 5 mega ohms. Minimum mega ohm reading is not achieved. The following steps of 254 and retest the third real sheet beam should be described in 254C. Most for the private effective date with the standard may not exhibit the same installation resistance as newer equipment or more. Since the variation, humidity, temperature, rail transit system should evaluate the combination of original equipment manufacturer recommendations, their own experience to determine the minimum acceptable level. In the absence of the other data, minimum of 5 mega ohms is recommended. Fuse condition. Perform circuit continuity test. All cartridge type of the fuse. Replace the fuse with exhibit at open condition. Inspect all ribbon type of the security signs of the damage. Overriding replacing the damage in blown fuse. Note the region for the blown fuse should be found and corrected. Cleaning coating. Fuse assembly clean surface through their approved non-conductive with grease. Dissolving solvent. Inspect the evidence structural deterioration, electrical tracking, and flashover. B collector mounting brackets. Clean surface through the inspect the evidence structural deterioration, electrical tracking, flashover. Shoe beams, wooden beams, and beams made of the other type of porous material that may be periodic with the surface cleaning recoating with approved electrical material for manufacturer recommendation. Rail transit system practice to determine within the step necessary, and decorrect any of the leaks of their system dripping on any part of the collector system. 255. The general note that is required of the type of the assembly. However, refer to the original equipment recommendations for all of the required lubricants applications. 26. Corrected the end of the deficiencies in the division under the during the inspection in section 25 through 255 should be recorrected in accordance with the rail transit system procedure and original equipment manufacturer recommendations. References, definition, abbreviation, summary, document change, document history. And that was your third rail concurrent collection equipment and periodic maintenance inspection.